Hello there, and welcome to 1138 special event. We are doing a very special Lucasfilm quiz. I am not George Lucas, but if you ordered me from Wish, this is probably what you would get. I've got four fabulous guests. I would. This is what he would get. Slightly younger, but pretty rubbish. Can't have everything. No money involved, I'm afraid. There you go. Anyway, this is a special quiz we are doing. Today we're doing a Lucasfilm quiz, and I'm in homage with shirt and beard. I've especially aged myself by staying outside in the rain for a long period of time and getting heavily weathered. And I've got some fantastic guests, which we're just about to meet today. So I'm just gonna give them a sort of a brief interview, and then we'll have a little chat, but so they know. So number one, we're going to start with fantastic Mr. Brian Herring. Brian Herring has had his hand up more things on TV than a celebrity vet. But don't worry, it's very clean, so we're fine. He's had his hand up very naughty things recently in Spitting Image, but we will see what he's up to. We have the beautiful, lovely Anna Graves with a voice like velvet. Very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. We have the beautifully hunky Dominic Pace, who's hanging around here, and he's done so much stuff as well, also for The Mandalorian as well. And we have the beautiful Andi Guitierrez, who is from the Star Wars show and knows more about this than I do. Not that she's corrected me
then we all
already.
Do. Really.
So if anybody at home would like to ask any questions for any of my fabulous guests, yeah, it's more than free to do that as well. We only have 1 hour. We will have to go off at 4 p.m. EST. I'm 8 p.m. I'm in the UK, so it's 9 for me, but we will have to go off. So if you do want to ask any questions whatsoever, please do that. That's fine. And we'll try and squeeze them in between the round. And also if you want to play at home, that's fine as well. So let's start with our newest guest, because I haven't met Andi before, and she's so lovely as well. So what's it like working at the ranch? I think you're working, or were working.
No, yeah, I was working at LDAC down at Letterman in the Presidio, and it was awesome. I mean, getting to walk around history all day and like see people like Dennis Merrin in the hallway, like that never gets old. And you know, my team is amazing. Getting to work with my best friends and on something that I love so much, it's like dream come true. So who's like the most the person you've really wanted to interview when you actually got the chance to do? Oh, it was Carrie. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty life-changing.
That's cool. That's excellent, isn't it? And do you get a lot of actors walk around there when you're there as well, or is it
not so much, because we're not really a studio, it's really an office building. But you know, people do stop in all the time, and I literally collided with George in the hallway once, which was really weird because it was like my second week of working there. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to get fired. This is how I get fired. Was just like running to the bathroom and collided with him. So yeah, every once in a while you'll see someone, but mostly it's just office people.
Oh, well, that's nice. I expect the office people are as lovely as everyone else.
They're wonderful, yeah.
I'm sure if you bump into George again, I'm sure he'll make you a cup of tea or a coffee or something like that. That'd be nice as well. So that's cool. So if you would like to ask Andi any fantastic questions, please do. Dominic's done a lot this year. I mean, we haven't seen you for pretty much on the show. I think Dominic was our first guest 1 year ago, which was lovely of him because he's so nice and the show's so rubbish normally. And he's been doing so many things and obviously doing The Mandalorian. You've had a really good tour going around some small shops, sort of supporting them recently, haven't you?
It's been amazing. During COVID, I managed to raise over $25,000 for small business, including $5,000 for charity. We're going out there again this year. Had a nice conversation with Lucasfilm this morning. And I've just been excited. It's sort of historic in terms of having a bounty hunter campaign, but I've just been such a diehard fan and privileged to work often in television. But at the same time, it's like that old Twilight Zone movie. It was that one episode where there was a senior citizen, you know, he just wanted them to take him with him. And for me, it would be a dream come true to continue on with Gecko there.
Well, there's so many new Star Wars shows. I'm sure there's room to put a bounty hunter in a few of them. Maybe more than a few of them. You never know. But yeah, it's so appreciated, I think, by the because your area is sort of like Western America. I think is that never. I'm not very good with America. Is it California side?
Yeah, Los Angeles, yeah.
Somewhere like that, because I know so much about America. Yeah, but I mean, I know the people in the area have been very appreciative of what you've been doing recently, apart from me not knowing anything about America whatsoever. But that's great. But that's one of our other lovely guests who's come in, and we love to see him so much as well. Of course, Anna Gravy, voice like gravy. Anna Graves, how are you?
Oh, I'm lovely. Thank you for having me back. I didn't embarrass myself too badly last time, but this is going to be a disaster. So I'm just happy to be here and raise some money for the 501st.
I love it when you embarrass yourself as much as
I
possible.
think, well, thank you. Thank you. It's always hilarious for other people. Just not
there we go.
me.
Well, now, a marginal thing in common. Anna did the voice for Princess Leia in one of the computer games.
I did, yeah. So I was in Disney Infinity 3.0.
Wow.
So did I've really never got around to asking last time. Did you have to sort of do a voice similar to Carrie, or did you have to do your own interpretation of?
Sure.
Princess Leia?
No. That session was fantastic because because where the story takes place, it's sort of in between all three films. So we were like, well, which Carrie do we want to go with? Do we want to go with Young New Hope Carrie, or Empire Strikes Back Carrie, or Return of the Jedi Carrie? So it was mostly like somewhere between episode 4 and 5, and we had references. And so every now and then, I'd say, hey, can you play that? You do have your moments, not many of them, but you do have them. Like just those go-to lines for me are my favorite. And into the garbage chute, fly boy. Like all those, you got to have that energy and that passion and that hatred / love and lust for Han Solo. So it was a long session packed into 4 hours for that game, and best 4 hours of my life.
That's cool. Who played Han Solo doing the game?
Oh, I can't remember. Don't ask me that.
Probably Harrison Ford. Let's say so.
It's just Harrison Ford.
Definitely, it was Harrison Ford. I think
we're like this now.
He's really up for doing stuff like that, isn't he?
I know AJ Acosta does Han Solo for the Forces of Destiny, but. Yeah, I feel like getting to be one of the voices of Princess Leia, we are interchangeable, and I am friends with many of the women who have voiced Princess Leia. So we have our Leia lunches and goof around about Star Wars.
You could have a choir then, couldn't you? Or like a quartet?
We could, yeah. It's
that
me
would be
and
fun.
Kat Tabor and
harmonize with everyone,
Julie Dolan and Shelby Young.
Yeah.
We could just
because she did the number on the holiday special, so you got that set up. So.
That's true. All right,
nice Christmas number.
You have put the thought in my brain for the holidays.
That's good. I hope I haven't upset you. And last but not least, we're going back to Brian, of course, who's there.
Hello.
We do wonder if Brian has a proper job because he spends so much time on charity panels. We really wonder if he's ever going to get paid. But apparently he does.
Nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Occasionally.
So last time I tried to get Brian fired by telling him that I actually knew that he was on Spitting Image and he couldn't tell anyone. But obviously, he is allowed to say that.
I can say that now. Yes, we did that, and we're going back to do it again in a couple of weeks. We start again, and for anyone that doesn't know what that show is, it's a satirical puppet show with large rubber, quite ugly puppets we had a lot of Donald Trump last time. We have a lot of Joe Biden this time with Boris Johnson and just who else was on it? Lots of people from all over the world. If they're in the news, they're on Spitting Image, and we are merciless to all of them equally. Equal opportunities insulters.
Obviously, you other three are from America. I'm aware of that. Have you heard of Spitting Image in the States, or is it an alien thing? A bit like Coronation Street, I expect.
I will go search for it now.
Yeah,
it's sort of like
YouTube. It's all on YouTube, the most recent series, yeah.
Yeah, it's very much like a very dirty version of the Muppets with politics thrown in it, I suppose. That's the best I can think of. And have you got a favourite puppet in Spitting Image?
On the last series, I did it back in the 90s as well, which was quite good fun. That was my first puppetry job. But this time round, I got to do James Corden quite a lot. And
James Corden?
Yeah, and within the context of that show, every time James Corden arrived, he didn't go out standing. Somebody hit him, beat him, shot him, threw him out of a window, whatever. So it was that was kind of our James Corden running gag, was that he always generally came off worse. I did that, and I did Dominic Cummings, who was the Prime Minister's
Weasley man. Yeah, Weasley Cummings.
He was portrayed as kind of a malevolent alien Which
is pretty much right.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's about right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to start with the quiz before we run out of time. I haven't really asked either. Andy obviously probably knows everybody. Do you guys, have you met each other at conventions before? Or?
I've met Dominic and I know Andy, but I've never met Anna. Hello, Anna.
Hello. How are you, Brian?
Yeah, I've never met Anna or Dominic. So hi.
It's terrible, isn't it? Okay, so what we'll have to do, and are you going to go to Star Wars Celebration?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you should. I mean, I hope you're all getting in for free, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't miss it. It's the best of Star Wars.
It's good fun. It's lots of fun.
That's great. So obviously, if you're going, it'd be nice if you could all meet up and have a drink on me. Brian will pay.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll see you all at the front at 4. Okay, 4 o'clock. We'll meet there. That's what we'll do.
Right, we are going to start the quiz right now. That's enough waffling. We got 45 minutes to get through 5 rounds. It'll be easy. If anybody wants to bet on anybody, I would put my money on Andy.
My money's on Andy.
We're all going to put our money on Andy. In fact, I think the odds are pretty bad.
I have no pressure, right?
So smart. Yes, of course, if Andy does badly, it's going to be terrible because we've actually told her to fail on purpose. But we'll be fine. Anybody playing at home, please do comment. We would love to see everything you say. You can say the questions, answers. You can ask a question to all these lovely, lovely people here. What's obviously Dominic's been doing recently? What's Anna been talking about? What's Brian been sticking his hands into? And whatever Annie has been writing, we would love to know. Or you can mix it all around and ask what Dominic's been putting his hand into if you really want to. I'm sure we could tell you if it's not into being embarrassing. Okay, right. So the first round is obviously, we said, a Lucasfilm quiz. So we are going to do a round on Lucasfilm questions. The team here who are playing along aren't going to answer them until we get to the answer section. So anybody playing at home has a chance to put their own comments in, and they've promised not to look at Facebook. We'll find out. Okay. So the first question on Lucasfilm is about Labyrinth. So that's one of my favorite movies, Labyrinth. It's all about puppets too. But one of the members who helped write the screenplay was in the Monty Python team. But which member of the Monty Python team helped to write Labyrinth? Was it John Cleese, Terry Jones, Michael Palin, or Terry Gilliam? So which of those 4 helped to write the script for Labyrinth? Was it John Cleese, Terry Jones, Michael Palin, or Terry Gilliam? That's question 1. If you're not sure, have a guess. You'll probably get it right. Number 2, Harrison Ford's first proper role in a film, and probably his only first role in a film, was in American Graffiti. But what was the name of his character? Was it Bob Falfer, Jerry Lewis, Butch Cleaver, or was he only known as the Shabby Cowboy? So what was he called in American Graffiti, Harrison Ford? Was he called Bob Falfer, Jerry Lewis, Butch Cleaver, or the Shabby Cowboy? So far, I think I've probably said everything right because Andy hasn't corrected me. Let's see what happens next. Or are you writing down notes as we go along?
I'm writing my answers.
Okay. Number 3. Which was the first Star Wars movie to be produced by Disney after they purchased Lucasfilm? No multiple choice on that. Should get that one, I think. So what was the first Star Wars film to be produced by Disney after they purchased Lucasfilm? Number 4. This is a THX 1138 question. I must admit, I haven't seen the movie for a while. But who plays the character called THX? And that's all I'm going to give you on that one. Because if I give you the option, you'll know. So who plays the character called THX in THX 1138? There we go. Right. Number 5. Lucasfilm was the first company to bring a Marvel character to the big screen. And it was, in fact, the first Marvel character to go to the cinema since the Second World War, way before Marvel Studios. What is the character that Lucasfilm brought to the screen? Andy knows that. You got a smile on your face. I know that. It's not a serious one. I'll give you that. Okay, and this is the last question. Willow was specially written by George Lucas for Warwick Davis. Lovely old Warwick. But where in the world did they shoot most of the exterior photography? So one particular place, they filmed nearly all of it. Where was it? So was it in New Zealand, the Canadian Rockies, Bonnie, Scotland, or Yellowstone Park? So which of those places did they film most of Willow? Was it New Zealand, the Canadian Rockies, Bonnie, Scotland, or Yellowstone Park? And that is the end of the Lucasfilm round. So hopefully everybody did all right. If you didn't, I'll forgive you, because obviously I'm not George Lucas. Unlike the real George Lucas, who'd whip you very heavily with spaghetti, I expect. Right. But that's George Lucas on the weekends. So let's see what everybody at home's doing. I don't think we're getting a lot of chat about that, but that's fine. I love the quiz, says Aaron Atwood. Thank you, Aaron. That's amazing. Well done. That's cool. If there are any questions, Aaron, also please put them in the chat box as well, and we'll love to hear them. So let's start with the first question, and I will go with Dominic. So who do you think wrote the screenplay for Labyrinth? Do you think it was John Cleese, Terry Jones, Michael Palin, or Terry Gilliam?
I just showed my kids Time Bandits. I would have to go with the one that was most popular in terms of being a director. I would say Terry Gilliam. Terry
Gilliam is actually very good guess. Unfortunately, it is wrong. It is Terry Jones. Very good. My uncle made all the hats for Time Bandits.
Oh, what?
If you're interested.
Oh my God.
He made all of the hats for pretty much all of Monty Python. But if you see a hat in a film, they're mainly his. So.
Wow.
He only did hats. Don't know why.
Yeah.
Big on turbans. He made Sean Connery a turban as well. So
yeah.
Don't know.
Wow. Amazing.
Shame you didn't keep them, isn't it? But never mind. But yes, Terry Jones was the first one. If you got that right, you got a point. Well done, everybody who thought that was right. Harrison Ford's character in American Graffiti is what? Is it Bob Falfer, Jerry Lewis, Butch Cleaver, all known as a shabby cowboy? Anna, what do you reckon?
I've never seen American Graffiti. So everyone yell at me now. I know. I see it. I see your yells. I'm just guessed Butch Cleaver because that's what I wanted him to be called. But that's probably
I think he should be Butch Cleaver, but I'm afraid no, it's Bob Falfer.
Darn it.
A pretty rubbishy name, to be honest. He's not a popular character anyway.
Not a good name.
I'm going to go watch American Graffiti right now.
I think you should, but not yet. Maybe afterwards.
All right, I'll stay.
Okay. Be confusing otherwise. THX question. Andy, I think, smiled about this, so I'll ask her. Who plays the character THX?
That was question 4, right?
Was it? Of course it was. We'll come back to question 3 in a minute. Don't worry. We'll do question 3 after 4.
It was Robert Duvall.
It was Robert Duvall. Well done. Nice. Now we'll go back to question 3 and I'll ask Brian. So, Brian, Disney produced a movie. Which was the first one they produced? Which was a Star Wars movie?
I hope it's
Would it be that one? Yeah, I thought it might be that one. Yeah.
If it's not, I'm really in trouble.
I don't think anyone at home can see, but Brian's poster is not a normal poster, is it? It is slathered with autographs.
People have written all over it. Yeah, they've ruined it.
Isn't it? I'd throw that one away.
They've ruined your poster
in the best way.
But never mind. Yeah, so if anybody wants something, probably nick the poster if you go to Brian's house. Right. Lucasfilm was the first company to bring a Marvel character to the big screen. What was the character? Shall I ask Andy? I will ask Andy.
I love this movie. Not as much as Scott probably loves this movie, but it's Howard the Duck.
It is Howard the Duck. And I think it was 20 to 25 years before Marvel Studios even got an inch in with Iron Man and the Hulk. So
now I have seen Howard the Duck, so there's that.
There is that. It's very good. Did you like it?
I did when I watched it.
Have you seen it twice?
I think I watched it 3 times when I was a kid, and no, not as an adult.
You should see it as an adult because it's a completely different experience.
I agree.
It's an enjoyable one, but it is a completely different experience.
I'm going to have a double feature with American Graffiti and end with Howard the Duck.
Yep.
No, I was freaked out by the guy, what's his name, who played the villain, and his tongue comes out at the
Oh yeah.
That scarred me for a while.
Yeah.
But probably not anymore, so I'm going to see it again.
Well, that's lovely. Well, we can all watch that together as well, obviously, when we're at Star Wars Celebration, something to do. I don't know if they've ever done a screening at like a convention of Howard the Duck, but maybe they should. Maybe that's the one we should do.
That would be fun.
Right. Okay. Willow was especially written for George Lucas. No, it wasn't. Especially written for Warwick Davis by George Lucas. I should remember. It's my age, if I'm afraid. But where did I film it? Was it New Zealand, Canadian Rockies, Bonnie, Scotland, or Yellowstone Park? I haven't asked Dominic for a while. So what do you think, Dominic?
Scotland, I would say, yeah.
I would say Scotland, but it's actually New Zealand.
Oh.
But you know what? Warwick would probably prefer to have it filmed in Scotland because I know he doesn't like travelling that much. So,
yeah.
So he probably would go for that if he had the option. So,
oh my God, kidding me? I thought I thought Peter Jackson discovered New Zealand there. Yeah. Know that
it was Ron Howard knew about it years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some other things. I just watched like a student thing, and it was really good as well. We have some shout out to Andy from a fan. Doesn't say who it is, but shout out, well done. Shout out from Kuwait Drivers Yard Squad in Brazil. How are you going, guys? Question from Mike Veers to Brian H, which I guess might mean the old Harry. Yeah, any chance of you and Mike Quinn making a proper Star Wars puppet show?
A proper Star Wars puppet show, as to all the amateur puppets
not a rubbish
doing
one.
In those films for the last. I don't know. If you get Mike on the phone, he makes puppets. We'll do that. We'll get right away across that.
Yeah, it's not a no. That's good. You see, bring up Mike. Get approval from Disney. They'll be up for that. Definitely 100%.
Oh, they'll be all over that. Yep.
Thank you very much. Please keep coming with the comments. We'd love to get the winners. I think that's at the end of the round. As I waffled on for almost half an hour, we better speed it up. So how many points did we get? So let's go for Brian. How many did you get?
5.
I'll put the big B. Got 5. Anna?
3.
3's cool. Dominic?
2.
See, it's better than not so bad after all. And Andy?
4.
See, I thought you were going to say 6. You see,
I thought you were going to say 7. I thought she was going to say.
I have
which ones did you get wrong?
Aha! Thank you, my sister.
I got the Scotland one wrong. I figured there were so many English actors in that film, they never would have taken them over the way.
I mean, they normally film everything in the UK because I thought it was cheap. So I'm very surprised they would have bothered to go to New Zealand, but they did. Right, okay. This is a photo round. So we're going to play with this as we go along. So you guys, I'll give you all the options, and then you can just tell me as we play along. I've just got to find the sharing screen. So way back in the 70s, before Star Wars, they were doing auditions for Star Wars. Obviously, Mark Hamill here got the job of Luke Skywalker, but other people auditioned and didn't get the job. I'm going to show you some images of people. All I want you to do when I get to the end is just figure out which of them had the audition to play Luke Skywalker and possibly obviously got the job, and we'll take it from there. So number 1, was it Steve Guttenberg from the Police Academy's movies? Was it Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap? Was it Donny Osmond, the well-known singer? Or was it William Catt, the greatest American hero? So which one would you go for? A, B, C, or D? Everybody can shout out. Feel free.
Oh,
D.
Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula. Well, yes, it is right. Yeah, I'm afraid, yes, it is William Catt. So Donny Osmond did ruin Star Wars by doing the Donny Osmond and Marie special.
Elter, isn't it?
Which is awful. The worst thing anyone could have ever done. William Catt, yes, quite right. He did do that. They were filming Carrie at the same time. Brian De Palma and George Lucas were casting, and they pretty much cast the same people and split up the roles between different things. William Catt is actually friends with Brian De Palma, which is probably why he got the job as well. Not that he's a bad actor, but he obviously knew him. So C-3PO, not the body. We're talking about the voice. Who originally was offered the role of doing the voice of C-3PO before Anthony Daniels? Was it John Cleese? Was it Richard Pryor? Was it Pee Wee Herman? Or was it Mel Blanc, the voice of Bugs Bunny?
Wow.
I would really like Richard Pryor to have done it. Or John Cleese. Actually, any of them would be fine, to be honest with you.
Can we shout it out?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, was it John Cleese? That's what I would go with.
Okay, I think Mel Blanc.
Yeah, I was going to say John Cleese until I saw Mel Blanc.
But 79.
I really wanted to be Richard Pryor, though.
Well, they were all around at the time. Even Pee Wee Herman, I think he was like about 17 at the time, so he could have done it. But yes, the answer...
Richard Pryor would make sense because he wanted him to be kind of a used car salesman, really fast.
Yeah, it would have worked.
Didn't he? Is it?
Yeah, John Cleese would have just been like a ruder version of Anthony Daniels, basically. I'm not doing that. Get stuffed. and it might not have gone down. So the answer you were quite right. It was Mel Blanc.
Oh, wow.
So Mel Blanc obviously did do a voice of a robot later on in Buck Rogers as Tweaky. So if you wanted to know what he would have sounded like, he would have sounded like that. So I think the Star Wars movie would have been a much more laid back C-3PO. Like, the ship's blowing up. I'll wait a while, Strumbling on down. Looks like Darth Vader's going to shoot me, but it'll be fine. So, it would have been cool, but it wouldn't have been the same thing. So it's lovely that Anthony took over the job, and obviously he's in the body anyway. Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher has got a mammoth amount of people who actually were going to do her. I've got a list here. But I'm going to show you 4 pictures. Only one of them, as far as I know. Andy might correct me on this. I might have put an extra one in by mistake. Was it Jane Fonda originally auditioned for Princess Leia? Was it Sigourney Weaver? Was it Sally Fields? Or was it Ma from the Goonies?
I would go with Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver, right?
Sigourney Weaver?
Yeah.
Before her time, though.
Sally Fields.
Yeah, I was going to say Jane Fonda.
I'd say A for safety.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver was hot because of Alien.
She was the top of her game at that time, was A, no?
Well, they were all at a point at the top of their game.
But I think Alien came out after
Sigourney Weaver. Wow.
It was Sigourney Weaver. To be honest, I think all of them probably could have possibly auditioned for the role, apart from maybe Dee. The other people who also auditioned for the role and didn't get it was Kim Basinger, Gina Davis, Melanie Griffiths, Angelica Houston, Amy Irving, Jessica Lange, Bernadette Peters, Jane Seymour, Kathleen Turner, Diane West, Deborah Winger, and some other people I haven't written down on a bit of paper. Probably about 40 people
Sachs
went
as well. Anne Sachs, who played it in the radio show. She auditioned, didn't she?
Yeah, so pretty much everybody had went for the role, and Carrie, I think, was probably the youngest one who went for the role, but that might have helped because they obviously wanted someone who looked very young.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks. Somebody different wanted to be Jar Jar Binks. I can't say anything else about this. Yeah. Was it?
I know this.
Michael Jackson? Was it Jim Carrey? Was it Rodney? Or was it Ma from the Goonies?
You went all in on Ma.
She's got to have some part in the movie. Yeah. So who would you go for?
It was Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson is a good choice. Not Ma. Yes, you're quite right. Michael Jackson. So some of you might know this already. Brian, you might know this because you do a lot of stuff with effects. Michael Jackson obviously did Captain EO, which was part Industrial Light and Magic. He apparently wanted to do Jar Jar Binks, but not CGI. He wanted to wear a massive prosthetic head. And he said he would like to do it, but be in the movie a lot more. So if we had Phantom Menace out, it would have been like the Phantom Menace movie with Michael Jackson as a prosthetic thing. I don't know what would have happened, but for some reason, George didn't like the idea. Isn't that strange? So... Right. The voice of Darth Vader was done by James Earl Jones. Only one other person was even considered for the role. But who was it? Was it Ming the Merciless? Was it Orson Welles? Was it Tom Waits? Or was it Andre the Giant from The Princess Bride? Max von Strohe was the first one, by the way. Not really Ming the Merciless.
Max von Sydow.
Yeah.
Sydow. Sorry.
Is sober Wells an option?
It was Wells.
No, not sober. No.
I would say sober Wells. Yes.
I'm going to say Max von Sydow because he ended up being in Star Wars eventually, and
yes, he was, and quite often they do bring other people in who've done previous things. I can't remember his name because I'm a fool. But in the Last Jedi, the one who's the decoder, he was originally going to be Darth Maul, wasn't he? Oh, everybody looks at me like, what? What are you talking about? But yes, he was. And he wouldn't do it because he wouldn't get it because there was no dialogue. But I can't remember the name of the actor right now because I haven't written it down. But the answer is, it is quite right. It is Orson Welles. Well done.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Well done. People are clapping. Yes. Oh, people are looking up and playing along now. So very, very good. Sorry. Yes. I haven't been looking at the screen. I do apologize, everybody watching. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Right. What about Harrison Ford? Now, I've done it the other way around this time. I'm going to show you 4 pictures, right? 3 of them were offered the role of Han Solo because obviously nobody wanted that man in the middle to be in any movie, especially after he's done American Graffiti. What sort of fool would put Harrison Ford in a movie these days? It's ridiculous. Yeah. So one of them is not or did not audition for the role. All the other people did. So find the one who didn't audition or wasn't offered the role. So was it Burt Reynolds? Was it Kevin Costner? Was it Freddie from Nightmare on Elm Street? Or was it Big Sly, Sylvester Stallone? Robert Englund is another one.
I didn't know Costner was around in '78, but there's no way England could have auditioned. Wow, that's wild. So I know DNA.
Three of them did try and get the job. One of them was actually offered the role properly and didn't want to do it, and two of them were turned down for different reasons. One of them never did it.
I'm saying Costner. Costner never auditioned.
I think
because he didn't get. Big Chill was like '84, where he played a dead guy.
Right. Okay. Let's see if you're right. So is the answer B? Yes, you are very correct. Well done. So now there's a reason why I've put Kevin Costner up here. Why? You will get a bonus point for this. Why would Kevin Costner and Harrison Ford have a connection recently?
Oh, man.
Silence.
I feel like we should all know this.
We should all know this. Is it to do with planes?
No, it's not. No,
Okay.
It's a cheeky thing that Harrison did. And I can see by your whirring of brains and noises, it is Harrison Ford pretended to be Kevin Costner when some fans tried to meet him. They said, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm Kevin Costner," when they took his pictures. So he actually, out of all these people, he pretended to be him. I'm just going to go back 1 second for this. So Burt Reynolds said that one of the biggest regrets in his life was actually turning down the Han Solo role to do Smokey and the Bandit. What a shame.
I've heard that.
Robert Englund is Mark Hamill's one of his best friends, and he did audition for the role and was told he is too old looking. However, he is actually 7 years younger than Harrison Ford. He just looks old.
Wow.
And Sylvester Stallone, and I think this is a lie, to be honest, he said he intentionally read the script badly so he wouldn't have to do a movie looking stupid, which I think is very unlikely, to be honest with you. So I think we should be honest. He did a bad job, didn't he? So that's the end of that round. I think we're going to have to speed things up. Very well done, everybody. Well done.
Nice,
That's excellent. So do you remember how many points you got? It's a bigger question. Let's go for Brian, if you could, please.
4.
Brian got 4. Lovely. Well done.
4 out of 6, yeah.
No, how many? You sure? You want to go up a bit more?
No, 4 out of 6.
4's happy. Just 4 out of 6, if you like. Okay. Anna.
I was having so much fun, I forgot to keep taking. We'll go with 3, which is what I got in the first round. So
I think we'll give you 4 because I don't want you to be behind Brian.
Thank you.
That would be unfair, wouldn't it?
So kind.
Dominic, how many did you do? You definitely got a few of them quite well done.
Yeah, we got 4. We got 4 on this one.
You got 4. You see, he's winging it back. Yeah. So I threw on the Lucasfilm round. And Andy, how many did you get?
I got 3. That was tough.
Well, there you go.
That was not in my general knowledge. So,
well, I'm trying my best to keep it interesting, but we'll see how far we go. So we are now going to do an Indiana Jones ride. An Indiana Jones ride where we all get in a car.
Drive.
No, we probably should do the quiz still. Perhaps we'll do some questions. Unfortunately for Andy, she hasn't watched Indiana Jones recently. Should have watched it with her husband. If your husband would like to swap over with you for the rest of the show, bring him in.
I suggested doing it this weekend, and now I'm kicking myself for not pushing.
Is he standing there? Can we have a look? Where's
no, he's elsewhere. But I'm going to shame him for it later.
You should shame him for it. Poorly. If you do wrong in the first 2 questions, get him to shout through the door or something. We'll see how we go. So this is all Indiana Jones questions. I've done 7 questions on here, and there are some bonus points as well. I think you will probably do all right. Do not worry. I've got something on chat. Let's just have a little peeky. Shout out from the Dutch garrison and everyone, but especially Andy, because we love her.
I love the Dutch garrison.
There you go. They love you. That's all right. No shout outs for anyone else. Thanks very much. Okay.
Thanks, Holland.
Dutch garrison.
Thanks, Dutch garrison, if you're going to be like that. Right. Okay. I better turn my light on. I'm getting dark.
Eurovision all over again.
Do you get the Eurovision Song Contest in America, or is it just us poor Brits that suffer the nil point every single year for the last 5 years? Anybody watch that?
What was it called?
The Eurovision. Well, I guess by the way, you know what it's called. The Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh no, I haven't even.
Everybody basically does songs that sound like ABBA or a disco from the 90s, apart from us, and it doesn't really matter what we do. No matter, even Tom Jones could turn up and we get nothing. So it's tradition these days, I think, isn't it? Nil point. In fact, the person at the end, if anyone's interested, they said at the end, it's technically impossible for the British side to get nothing, and we got nothing. So there you go. Right. So this is an Indiana Jones round. Where are we now? So in Raiders of the Lost Ark, when the sadistic Gestapo man, Arnold Ernest Tolt, turns up to interrogate the character played by Karen Allen, what does she mistake he is holding for a torture device? So he brings something out of his jacket.
Say it out loud, or?
Yeah. So
writing it down, right?
Yes. Sorry. Yes, I do apologise. You are. Yes, you just remember or write it down. Yeah, at the end. It's only the picture rounds we're doing that. So yes, the Gestapo pulls something out of his jacket. She thinks it's a torture device, but it turns out to be something else. What is it? Number 2. Temple of Doom is the only Indiana Jones movie to start with a musical routine. But what is the song that Willie Thorne is singing? I will give you an option for this. Is it Anything Goes? Is it Putting on the Ritz? There is no business like show business, or is it Dr. Jones by the 90s band Aqua? Which of those is correct? Anything Goes, Putting on the Ritz, No Business Like Show Business, or Dr. Jones? Number 3. This is one I think you'll probably all be fine with. Which type of creature does Indiana Jones have a fear of? What is he frightened of? And if you would like to get an extra bonus point, what is his dad afraid of? Not the same thing, but it's close-ish. Number 4. Can you name either of the 2 actors that played the young version of Indiana Jones? So there's one in The Last Crusade. You'll get 1 point for that. And the TV show, there is a different actor playing the young version. You will get a point for that as well, if you know it. But if you get one, you still get a point. So you don't have to get both right.
I think
number 5.
3 different people played that.
Was there? See, I did look it up and it did say something else.
There's a very young one, and then the other fellow, wasn't there? That was
probably. All right. So you could get 3 points because I haven't written down the other one. So there you go.
Wow.
So Last Crusade, when Indiana Jones reaches the resting place of the Holy Grail, what does he have to do to get past the first deadly challenge? So he gets in there and there's 3 deadly challenges. The first one, what does Indiana Jones have to do to stop himself being killed? 1 word is fine, if you know it. And the last question on this, no, it isn't. It's the wrong page. Let me put it over there. Right. A few more questions. I'll just do 2 more because we might run out of time. Number 7. What is the name of Lao Chi's nightclub in the Temple of Doom?
Yeah.
Star Wars related. So what is the name of Lao Chi's nightclub in the Temple of Doom?
I'm so mad right now.
Oh, man.
You should know this one. This turned up in a lot of trivia. And number 8. Can you name...
try.
Yeah, well, another thing we can watch if you want to. I like Temple of the Doom best myself. That's just me. Apparently, that was his dark phase, they were told. Can you name any of the unusual dishes that are served up to Willie and Short Round during the banquet in Bangkok Palace? So you can name any of them you like, and you'll get a point for that type of list. You only get 1 point for that because I'll give it too many points away. That would be naughty, wouldn't it? And the last one, which I'll do as a bonus round, Indiana Jones is named after the dog. I think you knew that. Did you know that? Dog named after that. There are 2 other characters in Indiana Jones that George had dogs, which he named as well. That's right. So 2 other characters are named after George Lucas's dogs as well as Indiana Jones. If you could name any of the characters, you get a point for that too. So that is the end of that round. I'm just going to have a quick look and see how our audience is doing. And do you know what? I think they're doing quite well. Now,
how many questions in that round? Sorry.
More than I should have written down. Probably 8,
okay,
I think.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to confuse you on purpose. I did write down 10, but I'm going to run out of time.
8, but 2 of them had 2 possible.
And we didn't
Yeah,
get
so
number
it's
6.
probably
we didn't
10.
get
If we
asked
get it
question
maths.
6, did we? It just went from 5 to 7. Okay, right.
Yeah, I went a bit mad with that, really. I should have calmed down, really.
We're numbering them like Star Wars chapters at this point.
Well, this is the problem. See, I've spent a whole year just doing Star Wars questions, and now I'm allowed to do something else, and I got a bit excited. So you have to let me off on that one. We'll see for later. Right. So let's go on to that, and then we'll have a little chat and see what we can do afterwards. So, where are we now? Indiana Jones. Okay. So, question 1: The Raiders of the Lost Ark. When Statistic Starpo gets something out of his coat, which Karen mistakes it for a torture device, what does she actually? Well, what is it really? We'll ask Dominic.
A hanger.
It's a coat hanger.
Such a classic scene.
It's a good one. It is a coat hanger. It looks like nunchucks. And
He comes in saying, "Good evening."
Oh, look at you.
So much breathing.
It's so good.
I'm surprised she offered them drinks. How about a drink for you and your men? No, get out.
Yeah.
Just get them out.
I love that. What was it? Harrison Ford was sick one day with the that whole backstory with the samurai where they they couldn't do a stunt scene because he was sick all day. That was brilliant.
He had food poisoning, so he was like, "How about I just shoot the guy?"
Brilliant. It was brilliant.
Awesome.
Best scene ever. Unbelievable.
Cool. And then I think they tried to put they had like a joke in the second movie, didn't they? He was going to get his gun out, and then his gun's not there.
Right.
So then you have to fight the two guys. It's like, I'll just be idiot. I've got a gun. Oh, what do I do?
King of callbacks, those films.
So great stuff, that. So very good. Well done. Yes, very good. Right. So number 2. Temple of Doom is the only Indiana Jones film to start with a musical routine. But what is the song they are singing? I'm going to ask Brian. What do you think it is?
It's Anything Goes.
It is Anything Goes in Cantonese, I think, as well, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit of it, yeah.
And is it true that two of the ladies in the chorus are Lynn Hale and from Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy?
Kathleen Kennedy is her.
What?
Lynn's in it?
Yes,
Hale and Kathleen Kennedy are in that scene somewhere.
Oh man!
Wow.
Her husband is also got a cameo role in that as well. So if you look at Temple of Doom, is a really, really, I suppose it's like a clicky film. There's a lot of stuff that has been thrown in from Star Wars, maybe because George might have possibly had enough in Star Wars, and Spielberg was like, "Hey, we should mess around a bit." But there's tons of stuff in there. There's like Darth Vader's lightsaber light up when the doors open.
What?
There's loads of references all the way through, and a lot of the sound effects that you hear in that are nicked from Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you're bored, there's tons to look up. But yeah, quite right. Well done. And yeah, Kathleen Kennedy is a tap dancer, I think. So she has been in a movie.
Yeah.
Just one, and it's a good one. So now, what type of creature has Indiana Jones got a fear of?
Easiest one.
Oh, I didn't ask anyone, did I? Andy. I think everybody's been very rude, aren't they? Ignoring me. Yeah, snakes, quite right.
Yeah.
And what do you think his dad's afraid of?
I put spiders.
You close rats.
I'm afraid of spiders.
Big dirty rats.
Oh, rats.
Rats,
okay.
Dad.
I was like,
Rats
please
are
ask for the name
Dad.
of the snake. Because I know that's like my favorite line in that whole movie. That's just my pet snake, Reggie.
Yes, so Indiana Jones is afraid of snakes because he fell in when he was a kid, and obviously they're always through the movies. His dad, who's played by Sean Connery, when they go down, there's loads of rats, and he said his dad wouldn't go in there, so he don't like rats. The noise of the rats is actually birds screaming.
Oh,
because they thought it would sound better than rats, of course.
That makes
rats
sense.
don't actually make any noise, so even lots of rats. Right. Can anyone name the 2 younger versions of Indiana Jones, or 3, which is Brian? So let's ask Brian.
I don't know who the little kid was in the little kid helmet. I can't remember his name, but I know he was in there. River Phoenix, and is it Sean Patrick Flannery?
Flannery.
oh, good.
Yeah, very good. Well
but there
done.
was also there was a little kid who played it as well in some of those episodes. He was I think about 8 years old.
Yeah, I will believe you.
Somebody on the internet will tell us.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, if someone at home can be smarter than me, which isn't very difficult, please put it on the chat. I'd love to see what you're going to say. The Dutch garrison has got quite a reputation, says James Masterton. I don't know what he's talking about, but there you go. Sean Patrick Flannery second. The third is the younger actor from the beginning of that series. So I don't think anybody knows either online by the look of it. Okay, so where are we now? Lost Crusade. When Indiana Jones has to get past the first deadly trap, what does he have to do to survive? Anna, what do you think he has to do?
I know. The penitent man shall pass. Kneel before God.
Kneel!
Kneel!
Yeah. It's
Figured it out at the last moment.
Yeah. Because when you watch it, there's one that goes above his head, and then there's another one that goes right in the middle.
Yeah, no. Who kneels like that? When you're kneeling, do you automatically somersault afterward? No,
You don't?
only Indiana.
He survived a nuclear blast in a fridge. I feel these aren't really meant to be that far analysed. No, it's not.
No, they probably shouldn't be. But
If you pick on that, thread, it's really going to unravel.
I think he just hears it coming because they're like giant rusty blades that have been in the ground for 2,000 years, and they're like,
Go with it.
yeah,
it's a good film, though. I love it. Yeah, and then you got the bit where he's got to put feet on it, and it's great.
It's great.
Love that movie. Right. Okay. So we know that. We know you have to kneel before God. Only the penitent man. What is the name of Lao Cheese nightclub? Andy.
And did actually come to me. It's Club Obi-Wan.
It is Club Obi-Wan. Well done.
I was thinking too hard.
Why do I not know this?
You only see it for about, I think, probably like 3 or 4 seconds.
Wow.
And then Dan Aykroyd turns up and puts him on a plane, which is also a bit weird. So
Great cameo.
Nice
Yeah,
try.
get on the plane.
Wow.
It's Dan
Hey.
Aykroyd.
I love those Easter. There was it was Hook. I know it's a little sidetrack here, but I had no idea Glenn Close had a cameo in Hook until a couple weeks ago. But
I didn't know
love
that.
those little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
She
That's
plays
cool.
the Boo Box pirate.
No
Of course.
idea. Had no idea. Yeah. Amazing.
Okay, let's move on. We got 10 minutes left, so we're going to get kicked off the channel. Damn. Oh, never mind. Okay. So, can you name any of the unusual dishes that are served to Willie and Short Round during the banquets? Anything will do.
Chilled monkey brains.
Chilled monkey brains is one.
Snake surprise. I
Snake
keep doing
surprise.
this.
Anyone else got any?
Anyone?
Eyeball soup.
Eyeball soup is good. And
Peanut
another-
butter filled Beatles.
Beatles thing,
Yeah,
yeah,
crunchy
that's
Beatles, right?
4 I had, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she gets an apple in the room, thank God, because
Right.
he's going to puke in Short Round's pants or something. She's going to puke in his hat, isn't she?
Right.
Hat. I'm going to puke in it. So yes, if you got any of those right, it sounds like you did. You get a point as well. And this is the more tricky one. Who are the 2 characters that are named after George Lucas's dog, as well as Indiana Jones?
Jesus, man.
Mutt.
Well, in a Wentz set, yeah, but no, that's not really a thing. But yeah, you can't have a point for that because I'm mean. The answer is actually it is Willie and Short Round are also George Lucas's dog.
Oh.
I
You know
put
that.
Short Round because
Well, there you go. You get a point. Well done. Very
that's
good.
a weird name for a dog.
It is.
And we all hope that because the actress Willie Thorne did marry Steven Spielberg, he might not have called her a dog if he knew that was going to happen later, and just give her a different name. But we can't have everything. But yes, that's quite right. Well done. Very, very good. Everyone gets good points for that. So how many points did we get?
Oh, I was having so much fun. Damn it.
You're supposed to have fun in a quiz, Dominic. How dare you?
Did we get a point for
You're
each
supposed to be
actor who played
depressed
young
and
Indiana
bored.
Jones?
Yeah, how many points did we get? Give us a guess. Let's
I
go
got
with Brian.
7 points.
7 for... sorry, Brian, what did you say? How
I've
many
got
did you get?
9.
9. It's
Well done.
ridiculous.
Well done.
Right, Dominic?
5.
5? I would have thought you got more. I'll give you 6.
Yeah, you got more than
Andy?
that. 'Cause I
Yeah.
got
Okay,
6.
okay.
And like,
Sorry.
I did not do well that round.
Yeah, I'm sure you got more. That's fine. So 12. Just add these up as I go along.
You're on the set. You're on the set of the Phantom Menace now.
The Phantom Menace.
You're on the set of the Phantom Menace.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, is my screen gone wrong? What's going on? When did that go wrong?
Pay no attention.
He's gone to
Oh.
green.
It's because I've turned the light on. Hang on.
It's in post. You'll be fine. There you go.
Now it's dark green.
It's dark and green.
Never mind.
Doing well, this isn't it? It's going very
If
well.
all the things are going to go wrong happens to be my backdrop disappears, I'm
Okay,
pretty much fine with that.
this sound booth is a green screen anyway. So
Is it? Yeah. And like, no, we're all at home. We're all in the same room, really.
This is where I
Andy's
come
behind
to
the
worship
sheet.
Mandalorians.
Oh, no, I think it's working. Is it working?
Beautiful
I thought-
poster. Yeah.
There's a bit of it is, but it's
Not enough, really, is it? Not enough to be
Fine.
exciting. Right. Where were we? Ba, 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 ba. 18. Sorry, everyone. I'm just adding up the scores. Okay, right. I'll have to drop the last round, so we'll just do the photo round because we're going to get kicked off the channel.
A million
Which is a shame,
points
'cause
for everyone.
I've enjoyed myself as well. Can't have everything, can we? So let's get back onto this. Hello, Harrison. How are you doing? So the next round is called Find George Lucas. Believe it or not, I am not George Lucas. One of these people is George Lucas, and the others are liars. They are not George Lucas. Which one is George Lucas? We'll just do it as we go. So shout out an A, B, C, or D.
C.
Oh, so what did you say?
D?
C.
Could be D. C. Yes, it is C.
Yeah.
George Lucas is there, and the others are imposters, but probably trying to get him free drinks.
Here's those eyebrows.
I think it is. He hasn't got grey eyebrows, and others have. Nope. So interesting. Right. What about this one? A bit younger. B. Which of these people is George?
B.
B. God, everybody knows that. Do you know who the other ones are?
I mean, D is Crispin Glover.
And
Spielberg.
Anthony Perkins and Spielberg. Yeah, that's quite right. Yeah, Spielberg's at the far end. That's probably nice. George has got big ears.
I like his hair. He looks like he's in the movie Grease.
There's a picture of him when he did American Graffiti, and he looks like James Dean. He looks ultra cool, and he's got no beard, and he's all like rugged. And I just think, why did you grow a beard? You look so good. And he obviously likes his beard. Right. Right. What about these ones? A, B, C, or D?
B.
Wow.
B.
D?
D's Al Pacino.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes. D is Al Pacino. C is from the Doobie Brothers. I don't actually know who he is. I just found it on the internet.
Wow.
But B is
Richard Osman.
Probably.
That's a good
Richard
one.
Osman.
B is George with a nice hat on. The only picture I can find with him with a hat on. Okay. Another one. Probably D if you ask me. But which one of these is the main man?
B.
B. Okay. It's far too easy.
That was a tough one though.
I try my best. Yeah, D's he's very similar. Okay, so last question, unless I've done it wrong, is this one. So none of these are George Lucas. George Lucas had one cameo, a proper cameo in a film. All of these people are cosplaying, but which one is cosplaying as George Lucas's character?
A.
So yes, it is Brian. Well done. Baron, not Brian. He's playing along. Baron Papanoia. Right. Okay. Right. So well done. Oh, I do have another question. I forgot. So, he's not in any of these pictures. Do you know what I'm going to ask you?
Yeah.
Oh, which one is
something about TV reporter?
What happens next?
What happens next? One of these reporters is about to be photobombed by George Lucas. Which of them is about to be photobombed by the real George Lucas? Is it A?
C.
Yeah, it's C.
Because he looks like he's outside of a coffee shop.
Yeah, all of these pictures, bad things are going to happen to all of these reporters, unfortunately, apart from the photobomber. So, yes, it is C. It was photobombed by the man. Quite right. And he didn't notice. He just walked on past into the shops.
I love that.
And I think he was talking about Hollywood as well. Oh, yeah, don't worry. Big director behind, not important. The poor person in D is just about to have been stung by a bee.
Wow.
B is about to be jumped on, and I think A gets hit by a flying panel or something. Poor girl. So
goodness.
That's what you like to have in a quiz, a bit of brutality. Right. So that's the end of that, and we'll get your points, and then we have got only 4 minutes left. So I think we'll just have to do our goodbyes and thank yous. And we won't be able to do our Star Wars round. But to be honest, I'm bored of Star Wars anyway. Who isn't? I'll probably sell the whole company to somebody else. Right. So, Brian, how many points did you get on that? I think you got all of them.
I got all of those, yeah.
Oh, so what's that, 6?
Dull. Yes.
6. How dull. Getting them all right, Brian. It's disgraceful. Anna, I think you got 6 as well, didn't you?
Sure, that sounds great.
Yeah, we'll go for that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that sounds good. Dominic, did you get 6? I think you did.
It was 5. I got 5. I thought he was a Doobie Brother there for a second.
Yeah, well, I intentionally did find pictures that I thought looked a bit like George Lucas, and
that was brilliant. I tried
my best. So,
we got 5.
Thanks very much for that. Very good. And Andy, did you get 6 or did you get
6?
You got 6. I thought you did. Okay, so I won't put you out of your misery because we haven't got the time. So, you all did very, very well. Dominic and Andy, you did very, very well. You both actually got pretty much the same score. You got 19 points, which is excellent. We are followed up by the beautiful Anna, who got a few more points. You got 23. And obviously he's cheating, is Brian Herring, who got 24. Why has he got that book hanging around somewhere with all the information in it?
It's suspicious.
So well done, Brian. You've done very, very well. If we were going to buy you something, I would buy you, I don't know, a cream tea. That would be probably quite nice.
Smashing. Can you put
That
the
does
jam?
sound nice.
I could put the jam. Yeah. Do I put the jam under or on top of the cream?
We could do that all night. Just that
50-50,
argument alone.
that'd be the way of doing it.
Yeah.
So that'd be fine. Unfortunately, I don't think Anna is doing anything else tomorrow. Am I wrong about? Oh no, did you have an interview?
I had an interview. Yes,
You did have an interview.
I did. Yes, so it'll come on at some point this weekend. So
sometime later. So if you'd like to hear actual stuff about Anna's life rather than this, then she's got a very interesting interview coming up with that as well. It's really fabulous. She's done a fantastic job. She has done so many voices apart from Star Wars characters, although I'm sure you'd like to talk about Star Wars characters.
Wow. Those are some of my favorites. No, being the Duchess Satine on the Clone Wars was the cream of the crop, icing on the cake for my. It was just a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, but yeah, I've been very busy doing lots of video games from my closet at home until things are starting to open up. But I got to go into the studio twice last week, and that was very exciting.
Getting better. It's getting better.
It's getting better.
It says here. It says your screen breaks the comments when the illusion has been shattered. So I guess when I went to the pictures, it went off. So there we go.
Oh.
No magic.
The illusion is shattered.
What an absolute shame. So, but that doesn't really matter because I'm not important. Okay. Dominic has got an interview as well, I think sometime during the week as well. So that's fantastic. Are you doing anything else apart from that? Or is it just the interview?
As far as interview, yeah, just with Amy Clark Higgs, who's the head of the Bounty Hunters Guild there. But yeah, just so appreciative of the 501st there, and getting ready to meet a lot of them and see a lot of them on the tour there.
Yeah, and again, if you come into something like Star Wars Celebration or any Dimensions, which obviously is starting to happen in America as well, I'm sure we'll keep an eye on you. And if you need any help, we'd love to help you out. Andy, I think you're doing something on Sunday. I might be wrong about that. Or maybe I'm wrong.
As far as I know, this is it for me.
Okay, I'm wrong. You're not.
As far as I know.
Okay, I'm very good at making mistakes, as you might have noticed.
I'm around.
But it's been lovely to see you. So thank you so much for hanging out with us as well.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, this is Aaron says yes. This is the only thing you're doing. I'm a fool. Okay, so sorry about that. I'm going to shut up now.
I'll just be watching from home.
Just be watching, but it's great. But yeah. So interesting about the inside of Lucasfilm. How big was your office? Do you have a nice big office, or are you a little broom cupboardy sort of thing?
Well, for a while I just had a cubicle, and then I had a little small office. But I mean, cool. It's a big building. There's a lot of people in there. So,
and as we aren't really allowed in there normally, because we might nick stuff. What's the coolest thing in the building that you sort of go, oh yeah, that's really neat?
Oh. There's a lot of really cool stuff. I really freaked out about seeing the bike from E.T. and one of the on-screen E.T. models, because E.T. is kind of like my other favorite, my other love.
Wow.
But yeah, there's a lot of cool film history in the building. So
are you allowed to ride the bike around the place?
No, they have it hanging from the ceiling. And I always joked that I was going to cut it down and ride off into the sunset one day, but alas.
It would be almost funny if it fell down, wouldn't it, really? But probably a little bit naughty. But yes, thank you very much for joining in. You've done a fantastic job. I would have loved to talk to you for longer, but we haven't got the time. We are almost running out of time. Erin, can you just tap us if we got any more time or not? I don't think we have. Tell us on the comments. Brian, I think, is going to hang around sometime later in the week.
Yeah, I'm Anthony Daniels' warm-up act tomorrow.
That's right, as you should be.
Yeah.
So
I know my place.
So nothing about Anthony Daniels. Very quiet about that. Only praise. That's what we want to hear tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Nothing about you whatsoever.
No,
not interested.
Praise for Anthony Daniels. That's all I'm going to talk about for an hour.
Sorry. But yes, lovely. Thank you very much for joining in. And apparently we're out. Are we off?
We've been off.
I'm going to keep talking
minutes,
in case we're not.
They're
done. They're done.
We're on. We are on. So we'll just keep talking. Do you want me to go? But they are waiting for us to finish. Yes. It's to go away now. You've had enough time. Right. Goodbye. So that's the end of this. This is all for the charity First Robotics, which is a dear thing for us. 501st Legion and Lucasfilm are very, very keen about looking after it, as well as Disney. It helps science, technology, engineering, and maths. I remembered all that. Younger people learning. It's really, really great thing. So please do donate some money if you could. Anything would be really, really appreciated. And all of us would like to thank you so much for watching us and enjoying the show. Right. Thank you very much, everybody. We're going to wave goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Stay safe.